緩やかな丘を縫って駆けてくる馬車迎えに来るの迎えに来るのね誰かが私を連れて行くのね白い花の道へ風のふるさとへ連れて行くのね連れて行くのね
This was Anne's first summer at Green Gables. It was the happiest summer of her life. She had a place to stay which she loved, and she had a very good friend, Diana Barry. The two girls spent every free minute together.
Oh, I suppose I should be glad if she arrives at all. I should have known the child would be half an hour late, as always.
Matthew!
Anne!
Matthew, I'm back! Matthew, would you please do me a big favour? Diana and I have furnished the most beautiful playhouse.
Have you?
In a circle of birch trees called Idlewild.
Oh,
We have everything that we need. A fireplace, chairs,
really?
and a sofa, but one item is still missing.
Oh. And is it by any chance a table that's missing?
How did you know that? Have you been there?
No, of course not. I just thought maybe the two of you needed a beautiful table. I'll try to solve your problem as soon as I have some time.
Oh, Matthew, thank you very much.
It's a great pleasure, Anne.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
I don't understand it. The child has completely forgotten she had to help me in the house. And my dear brother Matthew would join in the mischief. When it comes to being lazy, he's the world champion. Anne? Anne!
Yes? Hello, Marilla. I'm very sorry. I'm terribly late. Can you believe it? We are going to have a Sunday school picnic next week, close to the Lake of the Shining Waters, on Mr. Andrew's farm. And Mrs. Bell and Mrs. Lindy promised to make ice cream. Can you imagine that ice cream? Just think of it. I'm going to have ice cream. You will allow me to go to the picnic, won't you?
Do you realize what time it is?
No.
Didn't you promise to be back at a specific time?
At 2 o'clock. Don't you think the idea of a picnic is simply marvellous? May I go, Marilla? Please, may I go? I've often dreamt about something like this. Oh, it sounds so incredibly romantic. Do you think that you could possibly bake us an apple pie?
We agreed that you would be home at 2 o'clock, Anne. But as you can see, it's already 2:45.
Oh,
Would you at least have the decency to tell me why you disobeyed me?
I desperately wanted to be on time. If only you would allow me to explain how fascinating Idlewild is for me and Diana.
Enough of that, enough, Anne.
I also had to tell Matthew about the picnic plans, and besides, I wanted to ask him a small favour. Matthew was most interested in what I had to tell him, honestly.
Anne, I know you and Diana have a lot of fun playing in the make-believe castle. I understand that. But you are not allowed to forget your duties because of it. How will you learn to be a responsible person if I allow you to do as you like? And don't use Matthew as an excuse. He's only too glad when someone interrupts him while he's working. As far as the picnic is concerned, of course you may go. You are a member of the Sunday school. If all the other girls are allowed to go, then you are going too. How could I not let you go?
Thank you, Marilla. Thank you. But Diana said that all the girls who are going to the picnic must cook or bake something very special to take along. Unfortunately, I can't cook or bake. Well, I don't mind so very much going to a picnic in a dress without puff sleeves, but if I had to go without a picnic basket, I would surely die. I've been worrying myself sick since Diana told me about the basket.
Dear child, it's quite unnecessary to worry yourself about something as trivial as that. You'll be very proud of my picnic basket.
Is that really true? I simply can't believe how lucky I am, Marilla. Oh, what have I done to deserve you? Thank you very much, Marilla.
Oh! And be careful, you'll hurt yourself with the knitting needles. Oh, it would be just my luck if you hurt yourself. It really makes me glad to see you so happy. But believe me, it would have been much nicer if you'd kept your promise. The fact that you can't cook has been bothering me for some time. I'll have to teach you as soon as possible, but at the moment you seem to be a little scatterbrained. You don't concentrate on things that you have to do. I keep on having to remind myself that your thoughts drift very easily and that you're a daydreamer. That's a sure recipe for a flop. Rather busy yourself with your patchwork. I want you to finish one square before tea.
I don't like patchwork. It's so boring. There's no scope for imagination, Marilla.
Anne?
Oh. Diana has a new dress. It has 3/4 sleeves. She's going to wear it to the picnic. I can only hope that it doesn't rain next Wednesday. I can't bear the thought of the picnic being cancelled for some silly reason. It really makes me so nervous. Of course, time would heal the wound of such an unfortunate experience, of that I'm sure. But it would haunt me for the rest of my life. I wouldn't be able to get rid of the thought. Even if I were invited to go on 100 different and more exciting picnics every year, it would never, ever mean as much to me as the very first picnic of my life. There'll be ice cream. Apparently it tastes like chocolate and strawberries. It's going to be an experience that I will one day relate to my nieces. That's, of course, if I'm going to have nieces, which in turn means that...
Anne, you've been prattling away for 10 minutes without so much as a pause between. I'm very interested to know if you also have the ability to keep quiet for the same length of time. Anne, the picnic's only in 4 days' time, so please stop staring through the window. Anne Shirley, did you hear what I said?
Huh?
To end off today's sermon, I have wonderful news for you. I'm sure that many of you know about it already. There will be a picnic for all the Sunday school members this coming Wednesday. Be quiet, children. I would like to see as many of you as possible at the picnic so that you can have wonderful memories of Sunday school holidays.
Marilla, I got goose pimples when Reverend Bell spoke about the picnic. Just the idea of the picnic sends shivers down my spine.
Why is that, child? You've known about the picnic for a week.
You're right, but all the time I was scared that I might have been mistaken. I was scared that I'd dreamt it all up, like before. I knew about it because Diana told me, but when Reverend Bell spoke about it in church, it became official, like a letter from the authorities.
Honestly, child, you make too much of unimportant things. That way you'll experience many disappointments, I'm afraid.
I don't understand, Marilla. Surely looking forward to something is just as nice as experiencing it. Of course you don't always get what you want, but at least you had the pleasure of looking forward to it. Nobody can take that away from you. goodness! Just look at how your brooch catches the light! What a beautiful piece of jewellery! I don't understand how anyone could pay attention to the sermon whilst wearing such a precious brooch. I can't begin to imagine that. Amethysts are really very special gems. I like their colour, but I'm not too sure if they go well with my hair. I thought diamonds looked like them. I don't know why, but I always believed that diamonds had many colours, green and blue and red. In most fairy tales, the princesses wear diamond-studded crowns. I was so disappointed when I saw a lady's diamond ring for the first time. I immediately started crying bitterly, Marilla. I'm not trying to say that the ring was ugly, but it was so vastly different from what I'd imagined diamonds looked like.
Anne, would you be so kind as to put the box in the hall cupboard upstairs? I still have some shopping to do.
All right. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm sure amethysts are so beautiful because the souls of violets live in them.
Anne, have you by any chance seen my amethyst brooch? I can't find it anywhere. Its sudden disappearance is quite a riddle to me. I'm almost sure that I put it on the pincushion after church yesterday.
That's very strange indeed. I did see the brooch after you'd left to do the shopping. I walked past your bedroom. The door stood open. The brooch shone so beautifully that I couldn't walk on without looking at it for a while.
Did you touch it?
Yes.
Really?
I even went so far as to pin it to my dress. I wanted to see what it looked like with my hair.
Who on earth gave you permission to do that? You can't just take anybody's possessions whenever you feel like it, Anne. Nor do you go into other people's rooms. Don't you listen when I teach you the difference between right and wrong? Where is the brooch now?
It's supposed to be on the pincushion. I held it in my hand for a minute only. I didn't know that I was doing something bad. You're right. What I did was wrong. I obviously didn't give the matter enough thought. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, Marilla. I'll never, ever do it again. I'm sorry. I give you my word on it. I try never to repeat my mistakes.
Where is my brooch, and would you please tell the truth? It's not in my bedroom. Did you take it outside by any chance?
No, I did put the brooch back. Unfortunately, I can't remember whether I pinned it to the pincushion, Marilla, Or if I put it into the bowl?
I'll go and have a look. Anne, if you really did put the brooch back, as you say, it should still be there. Rather tell me now if you have something to hide. The brooch is nowhere to be found.
Oh, no.
You must know where it is, since you are the very last person who actually saw the brooch. Please, you must stop lying to me, Anne. Did you take the brooch outside the house? And did you lose it on your way back?
No, Marilla, I promise I didn't. I didn't take it with me. I left it where I found it. I promise you, it's the truth. I wouldn't be able to give you an answer even if you tortured me. Although I must admit I don't know what the word torture means precisely. But I'm telling the truth. So there.
I'm afraid that you've taken things a bit too far. Don't try to plead innocent with me. I won't fall for it this time. You've tried your luck once too often, Anne. Go to your room and stay there until you're ready to tell the truth. Then you can come down again.
Do you want me to take the peas with me to my room?
No, thank you. That won't be necessary. If only I knew what the truth was. I'm quite convinced she wouldn't have stolen the brooch. I'd vouch for that. She obviously wanted to play with it. I'm almost sure she started daydreaming about being a princess. Maybe she lost the brooch and now, for fear of being punished, she doesn't want to tell the truth. I despise her lying even more than her temper tantrums. It's a pity if you can't trust people. To raise a child who has no regard for the truth is really a very big responsibility. What shall I do? What? I could excuse the fact that she lost the brooch, but not her lying. If only she'd told me the truth immediately, then I would have forgiven her and we could have carried on with our lives.
You must be mistaken, Marilla. Anne would never do such a thing. She's far too honest. You ought to know that. Isn't it possible that the brooch fell behind the chest of drawers?
No, it didn't. I even moved the chest of drawers away from the wall. Believe me, I've looked everywhere. The brooch is nowhere to be found, and Anne has something to do with it. But what exactly it is, she wouldn't tell me. That's how it is, Matthew, whether we like it or not.
What does one do in such a case? Do you have any suggestions?
Well, right up until now, I've confined her to her room. It's always worked with her, as you should know.
Is that really so?
But of course. Look, if she tells us where she went while the brooch was in her possession, then we'll have a slight chance of finding it. Besides, whether we find it or not, she must be punished.
Do you think so? Well, Marilla, I'm terribly sorry, but this is your problem, not mine. Do you remember what you told me some time ago, do you? You told me that the education of little girls is a woman's job.
Oh,
You did say that, didn't you? You do remember, Marilla.
Good morning, Marilla. It's a beautiful day. I just hope it will stay as beautiful for the picnic tomorrow. Have you found the brooch, Marilla?
would you stop acting as if I were an idiot, Anne? Rather tell me the truth.
But I have, Marilla.
Every morning, afternoon, and evening, Marilla took Anne's food to her room. Marilla always looked very distressed, but every time she left Anne's room, she was even more distressed because it never crossed Anne's mind to say the magic words. Marilla was at her wit's end. She believed Anne was just being stubborn and that she would get her to talk by treating her in such a strict way. She even thought of going to Mrs. Rachel Lynde to ask her for advice. But she didn't trust her. She was afraid that people might think badly of Anne. Matthew didn't feel too good either. His sentiments were with Anne, as always. But this time he also wondered whether his sister wasn't right by any chance. Marilla felt as if Matthew and the rest of the world had deserted her. It made her heart ache to see that Anne had been crying. And how pitiful she looked.
How long are you going to keep this up, Anne? Up to now, I've thought very highly of you because of your honesty.
Marilla, what do you want of me? I can't confess to something I haven't done. It's true, Marilla. I promise you I never lied about anything. And tomorrow is Wednesday, the day of the picnic. Marilla, please, I'm quite convinced that you won't be able to live with yourself if you don't let me go. You're far too kind to deny me the chance of going to my first picnic. You wouldn't, would you? It will really break my heart. And I'm sure you wouldn't want to do such a thing, would you, Marilla?
You can go to the picnic on one condition only, and that is if you tell the truth.
Marilla!
Anne didn't know what to do. On one hand, she didn't want to admit to something she hadn't done, and on the other, she desperately wanted to go on the picnic. She had to come up with a solution. But we'll tell you about her bright idea in the next episode.
っても終わらない花の波湖は遠く燃える雲はもっと遠く